Other yellow hat guy here, back with the video, and it's time for another movie review. This time, and rather quickly, I decided I'm going to review two movies last video, so this is the second one. It's Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. Now, there was Beavis and Butthead Do America many, many years ago. That had a theatrical release. But now we've got Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, and they kind of explain what Beavis and Butthead were up to or have been up to in a lengthy absence. Remember, this show was rebooted, and they're trying to make this canon, this movie canon, by showing certain things that were relevant and maybe aren't, right? So the show was rebooted, and it had a limited run of episodes, and ever since then they've been kind of, missing. Either way, times have changed, senses of humor have evolved. The stuff that they used to get in trouble for on the show, it's kind of passé now. With the evolution of South Park and Family Guy and shows like that, Rick and Morty even, the stuff that they're doing, fire, and, the sexual innuendos, Quagmire's just laughing right now at the stuff that they were doing, because he's like, hey, y'all were on MTV, cable. You had to pay for cable to do that. I'm doing this on, Fox, and on some networks, every night, Anyway, comparisons aside, this movie comes back and you're like, well, how can they make these guys likable or relevant now? And I got to be honest with you, I felt like they did a really good job with this movie. Beavis and Butthead have always been sort of one-dimensional as characters. Their strength lies in how ignorant they actually are. That's the message here. The little things, like, watching a television, and they show what their thoughts are of a music video. Like, if you showed somebody music, although they have the AC/DC and Metallica shirts that they're still wearing, by the way, and there's hardly any rock music in this movie. I would say that would be my one drawback, is there wasn't any rock music. They had some rap in there. I'm like, would they still rock Metallica shirts? Could they not get a Smashing Pumpkin? I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. Their personalities changed. Everything else, not so much, but their personalities did change a little bit. I felt like there was some character growth, especially with Beavis. So the plot of this is essentially they meet this lady who's an astronaut. She's going to an outer space mission. Somehow instead of getting a prison sentence for some of the, shenanigans they caused at a science fair, instead of doing jail time for that, they actually go to outer space. So this allows them to say, for the time that they've been missing from television, real time, here they are serving time at space camp. At space camp, they, pervertedly mess around with the rocket ships. They manipulate them to simulate some rather intimate things happening, right? I'll just word it that way. And the colleagues who are there at space camp take note, because they're doing this for hours without rest. And they're like, well, if they can do that, they could probably be an asset to us on the spaceship, on the shuttle, right? Because they don't see the perversion that the audience sees. They see, hey, they're using the space arm to move the rocket. That's something nobody's ever thought of. Maybe that's a plus for us. Whereas the rest of us at home are like, oh, we see what you guys are doing. You're gross. You're nasty. So they somehow get on there from that. It's kind of like doing nothing at your job and getting a promotion. So hilarity ensues where they're on this spaceship and they're asked to be on there first and foremost by the astronaut herself. And her name escapes me right now, but it's not super important. What's super important is they think that she's going to want to sleep with them. But what she's really asking is just to help fly the ship. And she's like, hey, I want you guys to help do this over and over again. There's just suggestive things that their thinking is going to be, a hookup, when for her it's just business. She wants to be remembered as a successful astronaut and what have you. And they don't see it like that. So while everybody else on the crew thinks that those two are idiots, she believes in them, has faith in them, and keeps giving them second chances. But what eventually happens is they goof everything up. And it's a life or death situation. I'll just leave it at that. Somehow, the crew survives, and somehow Beavis and Butthead survive. How they do that, you'll have to watch the movie to see that for yourself. But I will say, it flashes forward to our time, and suddenly these guys are aware of cell phones, and they look at them as just pocket TVs. They're aware of what's going on in the 2020s. Their house is sold. So you see how the world is different around them. And it was nice that they were able to address the things Beavis and Butthead have missed out on, or how different the show would be with today's technology. They had a slight take on the multiverse. The multiverse is a thing right now, and a popular thing to do in movies. You've got, everything everywhere all at once. You've got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You've got DC working on their Flashpoint movie. Beavis and Butthead kind of spoofed that a little bit by designing a prime, or a smart version of Beavis and Butthead, they look kind of like the Watchers from the Marvel Universe. The Watchers, characters that sit back and watch and kind of pass judgment, and unless it's a galactical threat, they usually say nothing. They sit back and just eat some popcorn and watch everything go sour. These guys look like that, like they're cosplaying the Watchers. Long and short of it, they try to warn them of, hey, if you guys don't get where you need to be, there's going to be consequences. So you're seeing them. You see the lady who once was an astronaut now being a political figure, thinking that Beavis and Butthead have returned to sabotage her career, to kill her, so she's trying to kill them. So you've got three things going on. Them adjusting to reality now. You've got these Beavis and Butthead smart versions of them trying to get them to do their mission. And then you've got the chase from, Serene, who I think that Serene or Serena, whatever her name is, who they think is talking to them in the iPhone, Siri. That's what they think. That was hilarious. So while they're one-dimensional characters, there's a lot of dimensions to this movie that make up for their lack of appeal as characters. So again, their strength is in their ignorance, and this movie plays to that with an interesting backstory and plot. And it all comes to a head where all those three things happen, and the build-up to that is, well, if they're going to soar with this lady, then what? Butthead just seems like, hey, he's what his name is, a butthead. He doesn't really care. Beavis, on the other hand, they show him with feelings. Like he sees himself. There's dream sequences where Butthead thinks that if he scores with her, he can score with any woman. Where Beavis, on the other hand, is not even thinking about any other woman. He's just like, look, this could be a relationship. This could be something serious. And it's sad that a lot of us young men have those same kind of thoughts coming up. You can sit here and say, well, I didn't. Well, maybe your dad was around to teach you certain things. But that's not what this video is about. I can see that kind of behavior in a lot of people coming up when I was young, where you think that this person giving you attention is into you, and you see a possible future with them, and you haven't really even talked to them. You haven't really even got to know them. And so Beavis sadly falls into that, but it adds a little bit to his character. I didn't realize the entire time the house that they're sitting at watching music videos was actually Beavis, his mom's house. So it makes Butthead look more apathetic when they're always going to Beavis' house to watch TV. But yeah, he's always beating Beavis up. So they kind of have a moment where they realize they are better off without each other. But then they realize later on, like in all sitcoms and TV shows, movies, whatever, that, oh, I missed my friend. There was this certain dynamic of both of us being stupid that made us friends. So, good movie all in all. I didn't expect to like it. I saw a review that had me think, let me give it a chance. Since it's out, it's also free. It's on Paramount Plus right now. So if you have Paramount Plus, that would mean you're seeing it for free or, the monthly cost of Paramount Plus. But I'd be remiss in not telling you that, hey, you can get a free trial, 7-day trial with that, and check it out yourself. That said, I'm going to also give this movie 3 out of 5. 8 out of 10. Same thing. Both of those movies, this and Jerry Marge Go Large, I saw pretty much back to back, and they were both good. I would have probably not seen either movie in theaters just off of name alone, if I'm being honest. It wouldn't have attracted me like maybe some of these action and superhero movies, but hey, I'm glad I got to see them. They were on TV, and I hope you get to enjoy them too. So let me know your thoughts. Did you like this movie? If you saw it, are you looking forward to it? Let me know in the comments. See you guys again soon. I'm sure there's a Love and Thunder movie on the way, so stay tuned for that review. Other Yellow Hat guys out. Captain Sensation!